Okay. I walked into my room and this book fell off of my shelf. Encyclopedia of Cryptology by by David E. Newton. Copyright 1997 by Instructional Horizons Inc. And I found this really weird section in the E section. It's a Scrowd Encryption Standard, or EES, a Federal Information Processing Standard, or FIPS, that uses the classified skipjack algorithm for enciphering data. EES was proposed as a FIPS by the Clinton administration on July 30th, 1993, as an alternative to the older Data Encryption Standard, which is DES, for use with unclassified voice, fax, and data communications transmitted through telephone systems. EES is sometimes referred to as Clipper because the skipjack algorithm was also used with a microchip of that name. EES has been the focus of an ongoing and vigorous debate from its inception, at the outset met with almost universally negative comments. Among the complaints were concerns that the encrypting algorithm was classified and therefore not available for public scrutiny, that no information about its testing was available, that the algorithm had been developed by the National Security Agency rather than some non-military agency, that it may infringe some existing patent rights, and that it required escrowing of keys. I don't know what that means, and that it was not as cost-effective as the older but still useful DES. Some of the strongest objections to the EES system have come from an informal group of computer engineers, administrators, hackers, and others interested in the use of electronic technology, known collectively as cypherpunks. These individuals argue that the EES system is a mechanism by which the federal government can listen in on the private conversations of innocent men and women around the world. These cypherpunks kind of sound like Anonymous, but it's like a predecessor. Maybe something to look into, I guess. The Clinton administration has consistently argued that key escrowing is essential at a time when potentially massive amounts of illegal business are being transacted through telephone and computer networks, and is also crucial to maintaining national security functions. From the outset, the Clinton administration made it clear that EES is a voluntary system for both government agencies and the private sector. The concerns among some observers, however, is that future administrations, or even the Clinton administration at a later time, may decide to make EES mandatory without the resolution of issues such as those outlined above. Such an action would meet with heated opposition by many of those now working in the field of cryptography. The debate over the implication of EES continues today. The Clinton administration had made some efforts to make the program more palatable to its many critics. In August 1995, for example, it agreed to increase the amount of encryption materials that U.S. companies were allowed to export to other nations. Companies would have to agree, however, to make their private keys to such materials available to the U.S. government under court order. In early 1996, the government agreed to consider even further relaxations, acknowledging that existing rules governing EES put U.S. companies at a serious economic disadvantage in dealing with encipherment schemes from other nations. Relaxing the use of EES-related programs is likely to meet continuing objections from the National Security Agency and various law enforcement agencies. However, out of concerns that terrorists and criminals would benefit at least as much as legitimate businesses from such changes in U.S. encryption policies. So it's just really weird that all this NSA spying and stuff is pre-911. It's from 1997. Well, actually, they started in 1993, I guess. Just some of their technology to be able to hack into all of our private material.